Yeah. All right, just so you guys know, those are probably two of the youngest people in Symmetry, just telling y'all. All right, so Jim Rustman, direct to Melissa Weigel, Kishan Monteith, and then Lidwin Watkins. So kind of the difference is, so I run a lot of in-home presentation. I still do it. I've even done it through COVID. Just kind of where I'm at, that's kind of where they wanted was in-home, not over the phone or over that thing called Zoom that some of you guys are on, right? What is it, 262? Yeah. So the biggest difference is I would tell you is behind the phone presentation it's different. The feel is different. Over the phone, you don't see them. You don't know their mannerisms, who they are, right? My background is in law enforcement, so I see mannerisms. So I see people, how they interact with people. So the phone for me just wasn't it. Or the Zoom, it just still didn't feel the same, right? So it's not opposing that you can do all three options, right? So you have options, which is great because Symmetry gave us those options, right? It was all in home, back in 2019, 2018, when I started in 2017, that's all I ever knew. But I will tell you is the biggest facet is the interaction you get, right? Walking up to that door, knocking on it, hey Johnny, I love those trees back there. It's the same thing as kind of doing over the Zoom, right? Somebody has a picture, or they're sitting there and they got a picture behind them. Hey Terrell, I love that picture. That's so awesome, right? That role and purpose, bringing that emphasis to them. We're not here just to sell insurance, guys. You're here to offer a product that's going to last them for their lifetime, and when they die, it's going to give them something else. It's completely different. So no matter what it is, phone, Zoom, in person, it's all the same thing. Just in home, I think it's more personable. Make sure you act that way. Don't act like, I'm just here to sell you insurance. That's not the thing. The thing is take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and talk to them as human beings. Talk to them about their family. Talk to them about who they are. Talk to them about what it means for the insurance and what behind it means for them. Because people over the phone don't know who you are. They don't really care who you are. But in person, they care who you are. If I knocked on your door and said, hey, I'm here to sell you insurance, you're probably going to go, boop. Right? I mean, let's be honest. But you knock on the door and say, hey, Terrell, man, that grass looks really good. I really like it. Those flowers in your yard are awesome. All right, hey, let's have a good conversation. Right? Second step, make sure you go to a kitchen table. If they don't have a kitchen table, I've done it on the couch. Make sure the TV's off. I always ask. This is how I'm more blunt than most, but I'll tell you that, hey, I know you guys don't have a kitchen table, which is great, no problem, I get it, but we'll just have the conversation here, but let's just have the TV off. Oh, great, no problem. Because then I know the focus is on me and not on law and order, right? So the other big thing too behind all that is your person, who you are. I used to get, when I first went into homes, when I first started with Symmetry, guys, I was really almost as bad as Casey, but not as bad. I used to go into homes, say, hey, yeah, it costs you $34. Would you like to buy a policy? Didn't know anything about them. Didn't learn about them. Didn't know about it. I learned that one single thing, knock on the door, tell them about their grass, tell them about the statues in their yard. People eat that up. They literally eat it up. How did you notice that? And nobody's noticed that before. Dude, they will buy anything from you. Literally. But then when you go in the home and you talk about them, you notice Johnny on the wall. You notice Grandpa on the wall. Hey, how old is that guy right there on the picture? I guess a great picture. You start talking about deviate from that process. Deviate. What happens is, all right, so now we know each other. We're friends, right? So, hey, Terrell, I know I'm here to talk about mortgage protection, right? Can I ask you really just one simple question? We all ask the same question here. Hey, so why did you fill that form out? The number one answer you get, because it came in the mail, so I had to fill it out. No, so Terrell, I get that, right? No problem. So Susan's sitting here with you. So if you died tomorrow, what happens to the house? Let's be for real. That's just how I ask it. Well, I work, she doesn't work. I don't know. Okay, so that's a serious thing. Right, Terrell? Right? Perfect. This is exactly how I do this. So you're telling me if you died today, Susan probably has 3 months before they come knocking at the door taking the house back? I don't have it. Like, literally, people don't know. Yeah, it's 3 months. Your house is gone. See you later. Okay, great. So, again, why did you fill this out? Well, if I die, like, my wife is going to be probably won't have a place. Okay, is that important to you? Yeah, we've been together 20 years. It's really important. I've already sold it. It's done. No options, so I don't even show options. No, that's 30 minutes in this conversation, guys. You can do this over the same Zoom, too. 30 minutes. But I'll tell you, is building that rapport, building the emphasis behind that is what matters. It's not going in and showing 30 options. I show two options only. One that I know they'll never buy. Two, I know they'll buy. And this is a secret my whole team knows. I'm going to let it out, the symmetry. Sorry. But I never show a full mortgage protection option. I show 3/4 and half. And I learned that when I first started with symmetry. The reason why everybody pays their mortgage every year, it decreases over time, right? What are we here to do? Sell mortgage protection, if that's what you do. And people like honesty. The difference between the phone and in home, they don't know you. In home, they know you. They look at you. They want that honesty. Great. So you know why, Terrell? You pay your mortgage down. Let me ask you a question. You die today, you owe $100,000 on your house. I'm going to look at about $75,000, $50,000. So Susan's going to be okay if you give her $50,000, right? She's going to be able to afford that mortgage? Yeah, but what about the 100? Let me ask you a question, right? Is 50 better than 0? Yeah. Okay. Can you afford 50? I don't know your budget. We'll talk about the FIF here in a second. I don't know your budget, but I'll tell you, I want my wife to be covered if something happened to me. How long do you think Susan's going to live in the house for $50,000? Probably about 15, 20 years. Oh, isn't that better than her leaving 3 months from now? Yeah, it's great. Here are your two options. I think that $50,000 is going to be better for you, don't you think? I didn't sell them a full mortgage protection. I'm not making $100 million in commission, but I'm giving the client something that they deserve. That's how I've been so successful in this business. I love to sell policies. As you guys can tell, I get excited over this all the time. I love being in the home. I even love doing it over Zoom. But this is who I am. That's like biggest difference between on the phone, in person, in Zoom. It's more in person. You're just more right face to face. Zoom, you're quote unquote face to face. Over the phone, like switchboard, it's that just right now. People are looking for it right now. Mortgage protection, like in the home, you got to set the appointment. You got to drive there 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm not saying all of you guys should do that, but it is more in like just more of that. If you like that energy, that's the difference, right? So how I close a deal, if you want to say it that way, I give them those two options. I don't deviate from that. I've never deviated in the last 5.5 years I've been here. But they're just like, wow, I would have never thought that. Or if it's a critical period concept, 18 months, 24 months. Don't talk dollars, talk months, what it's going to do. So John, this is going to give you 24 months of coverage for your wife. If you die tomorrow, or when you die tomorrow, your mortgage is going to be paid for 24 months. If they ask, well, how much death benefit is that? Can I just tell you, John? It's going to give your wife 24 months of coverage. She's going to be able to pay the house payment for 24 months. Is that going to be beneficial for you? I guess I never thought about that, Jim. That's the words I get all the time. I never thought about that. That's what sells. If you want to call it selling. I hate that word. But I think it's helping people realize that there's a lot more than just, I need $100,000 to cover my house. No, you don't really need $100,000. You just need to make sure they're going to be okay. Right? Because if I have a house that's 20 years in, I'm paying a $100,000 mortgage protection policy, now I'm overpaying on that. Right? I'm going to give you guys another tip, and some people might be mad at me. That's great. I don't sell 30, I sell 20. Every policy we sell here at Symmetry, most of them are convertible. If they need another policy, they're already qualified to get a whole life or get an IUL or whatever. And you don't need $50,000 on a $200,000 loan. You might only need the critical period at that point. Now Harrison could go back to that house 20 years from now and go sell that. Or wait, PCS. PCS can help you. Let's think about it like that. So that's what I got.